Hey, this is James Belton here for a live on this wonderful Saturday morning. How's everybody doing here today? So again, this is not a typical AMA. So I did an AMA earlier with Aequniox, but they have asked me or paid me, I will say, to do kind of a walkthrough on my own of the whole ecosystem and just kind of my thoughts on Aequniox and how's it going. So I still, even though it's not an AMA, still need you guys to hit the like button here as we get going. It's good to see all of you. I see we have a few new people as members. So Shandu, welcome to the membership, and Ian's here. Good to see you as well. Do stay tuned tomorrow, Sunday, September 18th. I will be going through my top 10 projects, and I'm going to kind of live let you guys help me rank it. So we're going to put together some categories, and then we're going to just walk through projects. I'm going to have you guys tell me, hey, which projects should I kind of grade first? And the goal is by the end of the video tomorrow, we'll have our top 10 put together, and then I'll do a video kind of putting out the top 10 after that. So let me get a link to that video before we get started here. Again, I'm a terrible multitasker. Ian says, hey, James, hope you're having a good weekend. I am. I'm having a great weekend. So this is a little bit of a break for me, even though I'm still doing a video, since it's not with anyone, you know, kind of just chill a little bit and talk with you all. So if you all have questions, feel free to let me know. But we are going to be looking at Aequniox today and kind of that whole ecosystem. So let's kind of get the ball rolling here. So let me share my screen. All right, and the Nebraska game starts in 30 minutes, but I'm not going to try to be done by then. We're playing Oklahoma today. We're definitely going to lose. So maybe I won't even watch it, but it will be on the back of my mind. So this is Aequniox, and this is part of the same ecosystem as Ames, DeFi, and Alto, which I don't even have in my history. I do not like rebase tokens at all. So I'm going to actually even have to find this one. So I was not at all interested in Alto. Let me see if I should probably be doing this off screen, but I don't even know their website. Okay, there we go. So this is the ecosystem. So again, Alto is a rebase token. Again, not a huge fan of those personally. I just find that there's too much inflation going on, but this is part of what they're doing. I don't know a ton. I want to kind of check the chart here. Again, this is kind of what I do when I'm trying to check out. Let's see here. I have such a hard time multitasking. All right, so let's check out this chart. So this actually isn't the worst looking chart, but you can see when there is these rebases. This is, I mean, just typical of what you see in a rebase token. You kind of have this pump, but then as people get rebases, they naturally just kind of sell. So what ends up happening is you end up with just this downtrend as people are getting more and more tokens all the time. You just kind of get this downtrend. So again, I'm not a huge fan of these. James, can you compare Aequniox versus Cone Unknown next time? That's actually not a bad idea. Maybe I'll do that sometime. I need to look into Cone more. I know Sims told me a lot about it, but I need to look into it myself. Anyways, one good thing I do see here, this is not actually terrible. 44 buys, 54 sells in the last 24 hours is not that bad, actually. So this isn't the worst rebase token that I've seen, but it is a rebase token, and I just think it's too hard to keep the sell pressure off on these. So personally, I am not interested in rebase tokens. Now, Ames is a tomb fork, and tomb forks are really suffering right now. You know, EMP and Grape were kind of leading the way in the seniorage protocols, and just none of them have been able to stay above peg. Now, we've found that there's still a way to make money even without being on peg. So, you know, that's all right. But by far what I'm most excited about in this ecosystem, this one's okay. Not a big fan of rebase tokens, but Aequniox. We did an AMA with them the other day, and I think that link is in the description if you want to watch it. And if you have questions or anything, let me know. But this actually has a revenue stream. So in rebase token and the seniorage protocols, there's not really a revenue stream. Okay. So again, that's those degen is kind of how I would describe those. But here we're getting back to this is the heart of how decentralized finance started, was just kind of these yield farms where you just have these liquidity pool tokens that you put together, you lock them, and you get a certain APR. Okay. And sometimes the APR, if there's not a lot of risk, there's not going to be a lot of upside. So, like, these are all stable coins. So, there's basically no risk in this one. There's no risk of impermanent loss. There's not really risk of your tokens losing value necessarily, but you're only getting a 5% APR. So, to me, again, just my opinion, I would rather get into like bonds or something. If you're going to be, that safe, we might as well be even safer, like, and get 10%, which is what I bonds give right now, which sometime we can talk about I bonds. So that APR is too low for me to be super interested in. This one's not too bad. You get 10% APR, but these tokens will also probably appreciate over time. So if you're planning on holding BNB and Bitcoin and Ethereum anyways, then you might as well be getting a 10% APR on them. The only risk potential is, I mean, they could go down in value, but you also could have impermanent loss if, like, post merge Ethereum ends up 5xing and Bitcoin doesn't keep up with it. You won't get as much appreciation as if you had just held Ethereum outright. So there's a little bit of risk there. If you like the Binance system, you can get WBNB, BUSD. Don't have BUSD, you can do USDC, WBNB. My favorite thing about this project is the names of these. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, this beautiful Technicolor is kind of the one that gives you. I keep clicking on things on accident, but it's kind of the one that gives you exposure to everything in the Equinox. Aequniox. I think it's Aequinox. But it gives you exposure to everything in the Aequinox community. So if you're wanting that, then that's a good one, and it's 306% APR. Hold on, let me take a sip of my. This is a Sigmatic mushroom coffee. You guys ever tried that? Let me get a link to that, okay? Because it's pretty good. You guys got to try this out. I think it has less caffeine than normal, and it's supposed to help you think. It has mushrooms in it. It tastes. I mean, good is probably the right word. Let's see. I really cannot multitask. Hit link. Copy. All right, so here, Amazon affiliate link to my mushroom coffee if you want to give that a try. I think I'm actually a little alpha for you guys. I'm working on a store for my website for jamespeltoncrypto.com, and I'm going to be redoing this site here in a little bit, but I'm going to add a store which will have some of my favorite foods. And I do not like that picture. I need new pictures. There's some good stuff on here. My team kind of built this for me. Cool. But I'm going to add a store so you can kind of see some of the products that I buy. By the way, if you have questions or anything that you want to talk about, feel free to ask. It sounds like the mud water stuff. Yeah, it is. It is similar to that. But I like it. I feel like it works. It might just be in the mind, but I like it. So, anyways, and these pools are really easy to get in. So, again, if it was me, I'm not super interested in this. I would probably be thinking more about these. Maybe this bullish on blue chips one is maybe the one that I would see most interesting. But you just need to click invest. And then hold on. This is the problem when you do it live is do I have to have some of each of them, or will it zap for me? Okay. I don't know. I should probably try this live, but maybe you can let me know. But that's probably the one that I would be most interested in. And that's kind of cool. You can kind of see what's going on in that pool as you go. They also have this trade page, which is just a swap, basically just a DEX. And then they have the Dynamo. So the Dynamo, if you understood what NP, nice person, that's his name. That's a good name, But if you kind of understood what he was talking about, you can vote on which of these pairings kind of gets extra percentage. And so if there's one that you're particularly in, like let's say, you wanted the blue chip one, this one, the WETH, BTCB, and WBNB, you could vote for that and get extra yield there. This staker, I believe he said was not quite available yet, or maybe it is, but you can go ahead and stake here. Um, A share WBNB. So these are some single asset staking. So WBNB, and actually that's a pretty good one. So you're staking AEQ and earning WBNB. So these are all to stake AEQ. So this will all take pressure off of the AEQ token. So that's a good thing. So I do not currently have any Aequniox. Again, that's something that I'm thinking about. I don't know. What do you guys think? Would you have thoughts on this? We're not going to rank it because that'll be for my top 10 ranking video that will be tomorrow. But I just want to know if you had thoughts, if anyone's in this ecosystem, how it's been going for them, what they think of the team. I remember, I was obsessed with Tomb Forks for a while. And so I really liked Ames DeFi. In fact, there's a chance I might still have some. I can't actually remember. Uh, Switch to Binance. Try again. Connect. Okay, I must have sold it at some point, but I kind of honestly I've lost a little bit of faith in the seniorage protocols, just because when they get below peg, it's just so hard to get back, and it's like you can do what's good for the protocol, like you never want to sell the Ames token, is kind of the goal, and so I never do that in any of the seniorage protocols. I never sell the token because I want to keep the peg up, but it doesn't seem like other people are sticking with that. So like EMP, the peg keeps kind of going down, and I know they have some plans to recover peg, but it just kind of gets a little depressing when you're not selling any of your tokens and other people are. So I've a little bit lost faith in those, and then yeah, I've never really had faith in the rebase tokens. I've never liked them ever since the beginning because to me it's just like there's just too much. Ooh, I'm a partner though. That's cool. But there's just too much sell pressure to keep up with that rebasing. But I don't know. Is anyone else in the ecosystem? And do they have experiences they want to talk about? Let's see, self-governed auto rebalancing crypto portfolios. Yeah, and it's a little bit hard to calculate what these APRs will end up being. Grape. Yes. Yeah, Grape has been very sad. Again, they're working on getting Peg back too, but it's just like it's kind of like two steps. What do they say? Two steps backward, two steps forward, two steps backwards, one step forward. So I mean, we're getting very low below Peg here, and I should probably have the Grape team on just to talk about like, hey, is Peg forever lost? Now I'm still making $100 a day or something like that on my Grape. It's still making 0.5% a day, even below Peg, but just not what it used to be. Let's see. It seemed more complicated. I like the simple projects that you can fully tell what is going on. I like looking at EMP, but it's crazy to understand. Yeah, and that is kind of the problem with these seniorage protocols. Once you get the hang of them, they're not that bad. But basically, you have a token, and then you can farm that token with BUSD. So Ames is pegged to BUSD, or it's supposed to be. It's way below peg right now, but it's supposed to be pegged. And so you can farm liquidity pool tokens for Ames to BUSD, and you'll receive A share tokens. Okay. And then when this is above peg, so when this is above $1, the boardroom will print at very, very high APRs, like 4,000% APR, and it'll produce more Ames. But when you're below peg, it does not print. So the goal is that when you're below peg, this number will come up because you're not printing anymore. So there's not really more for people to sell, but it just has not worked out that way in a lot of these seniorage protocols. Somehow they find tokens to sell, even though they're not being produced. Have you talked about red light chain? I have not. I've tried to work with the team from Red Light just to get them on for an interview. Personally, this is a good question. What are your general thoughts on the upcoming blockchains? I do not think that a new blockchain is a good idea, personally. Is James shrooming? Yes, I am. My shroom coffee. I do not think the new blockchains are a good idea just because what makes blockchains useful, the people who love like the Red Light blockchain right now are all the red light holders. Okay. And that's not who you need to use a blockchain. You need the projects to build on the blockchain. So I don't know the future of red light. I mean, being gasless is definitely interesting, but it's hard for me to think that if there's serious new projects being built, it's hard for me to believe that they would choose to use an NFT project based on, prostitutes as kind of their this is the chain that we're going to build on. Like it's going to be hard for people to not build on Ethereum, BSC, AVAX, Phantom, DAG, etc. So to me, I just don't see how they're going to get market share. And I'm not totally sure. I need to probably look at their docs more, but I'm not totally sure how they even get revenue really if there's not gas coming in. And same with Seifu. I think that these protocols, when their protocols started failing, they freaked out and they're like, okay, we need a revenue stream. And so a chain becomes, I mean, that's what Strong did, right? That's how they strung everybody along was, hey, we're building this chain. It's going to save everybody. And what have we seen happen to the Strong price? Did that help anything? Well, they haven't released it yet. It's been a long time. Um, but that, never came to anything. I worry about that kind of same thing. I mean, they've been talking about a chain forever, and it just never ever came. And so I wonder if that's going to be the same with these other chains. Vapor's building a chain, Seifu's building a chain, Red Light's building a chain, and it's just like I don't know. Do we need new chains? I think we need new projects. I don't think we need new chains, personally. So I don't know. Does anybody else have different thoughts? I've tried to work out getting an AMA with the team just to kind of, I don't know, maybe they could convince me otherwise, but it has not worked out. I think for some reason I'm a little bit, well, I know me and Brian are not on super great terms. Apparently, I think what happened, so he complained that I reached out to him for an AMA and then charged him. I think what happened is someone from the Seifu community connected me and Brian. And so then I said, hey, I charge for my AMAs. And he was like, that's crazy that you would reach out to me for an AMA and then you want to charge. And then he's kind of started telling people that I'm terrible. Um, so that's where I'm at. Yeah, I bonds, baby. Yes, that's right. That's what I like about a number of the other projects you've talked about: established revenue routes and clear plans for new sources of revenue. Yeah, I think that's what we're really needing in this market. Again, if you look at the total market cap, as long as we're under a trillion, we're still in the bear market. Okay, when we get back up to 3 trillion, I'll call it a bull market. But when we're at under a trillion in full market cap with 21,000 cryptocurrencies, there is just not new money coming in. So, like, yeah, if we have 968, 616, 783, 029 divided by 21,000, that's the total. And Bitcoin is taking up, a big chunk of that. So I just, yeah, revenue streams are going to be king right now. I know you don't like Rebase, but I think you would like Optimus. So Optimus is not Rebase. So the thing I don't like about Optimus is I think it's just trading bot, right? And so I have trading bots, and so I'm kind of like, well, why would I want to be in a project that just is using trading bots? I don't know if that makes sense, but so it's getting 1% daily passive income. I would prefer they just give the actual results from the trading bot rather than, because what if your bot gets less than 1% on certain days? Because mine does. Mine averages about 0.9%, which how much of that am I supposed to show? I'm not supposed to show the like actual setup of the bot because SMS Simon and Shiny Jackal charge for that, so I'm not supposed to show it. But I'm getting 0.8, 0.9% a day. But for me, I just don't necessarily want to get into another project that's just doing trading bots. If that makes sense to you. But I might stick a little bit in Optimus. I've heard good things about it. It's a good guy DeFi dude, I think. Is that who runs it? But yeah, so decent project. I just haven't gotten into it yet. Mr. C, it's good to see you. I am very blessed today. So we're going to my parents for the Husker football game. We're playing Oklahoma. Probably going to lose, but we'll eat some food, see some cousins, etc., etc. So He doesn't like Optimus. That means he's a Decepticon. Nice. I like the Transformers reference. With new chains, I am really suspect. Me too. Until like I just don't know why people would build on them personally. Is my take. Do you compound or take profit? So right now on Goldbridge, I'm going to just compound. So I have about 27K in Goldbridge. So that means, getting about 2,000 bucks a month, but I kind of want to get up to like 200K in there. Um Making 16K a month, and that's when I'll probably start. I don't know, as I get to 100K, I might start taking some out just in case something happens to it. Again, if you guys aren't familiar with Goldbridge, um, that's Jonathan and Crypto Mike's project, and they have a gold trader. And we've gotten really good returns. So we've never had a day in the red. Some days we're getting 1.5%, like the other day. They max it out at 8%, but it's been doing very well. So I don't believe this. I think the sacrifice period will open up at the end. Yeah, 12 days. So on the 29th. So you can get in then if you want to. But that's, yeah, Goldbridge. Compounding too because it seems trustful, right? And I just kind of have goals. Again, it depends what your goals are. So again, I want to really make Goldbridge a big part of my journey to 10K a day in passive income. So I'm going to need a lot in there to make that happen. So yeah, Alto and Ames DeFi. Anything else that we need to talk through in this one? We did the AMA. I put that link. So yeah, if you want to talk NP, yeah, that's something that I was going to say is incredibly smart guy. Okay. Nice person. Very, very smart. Just as I was talking to him, I was like, man, he understands DeFi. He knows what's going on. And so that does, give you faith in the project a little bit more. Like sometimes when I just talk with people who are smarter than me, who I know are smarter than me, then there is a part of me that wants to put a little bit of trust in them. Let me know too if anybody's in Aequniox or if any of these look interesting to you. Again, actual revenue coming in. I believe your returns are going to be in AEQ. But then you could stick that into the staker, and even you could end up turning your AEQ into more WBNB. So, I mean, there is a lot of potential here. Maybe this is something that I would try actually. Maybe I will try it because you could do like the BNB, get 13% APR in AEQ tokens. Then you could take your AEQ tokens, go stake them here, and earn WBNB at 219% APR. So this is actually a little bit interesting. I don't know. Maybe I will give this a try. It sounds kind of fun. Should I do it live? I'm just afraid my Trezor won't work. But here, let's do it live. They did pay for me to do this kind of live walkthrough of their project. So let me do this live and kind of show. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a little bit in here. But what are the higher APR ones? W Alto. See, I don't want to mess with Alto because it's the rebase token. I just don't think it'll keep value. I mean, this is AEQ and WBNB at 531% APR. How's the AEQ token doing? Can I see that here? That 50 cents. Do we have the contract address or something? I want to just see. Do I have to? Hey, Bitcoin Africa, good to see you. Do I have to use their AEQ? What's their contract address? Maybe it'll show in here. I just want to see the chart. I do not like doing things live. Dex. Dex. That's not what I'm looking for. Snapshot. Aims at DeFi. I want the contract address. Anybody know where I can find the contract address? I'll answer these questions while I'm thinking about it. Still very bullish on stable fund. Yeah, I'm just concerned. I mean, I would put in 5 figures into stable fund, but I'm just concerned. I've not seen a bot that can do 1.5% and daily. And so I'm just like, man, there's got to be a little bit of Ponzi going on there. I'm not totally convinced. So I want to see some of their trades. What do you think about Horde long term? I'm hoping their revenue is able to catch up to their what they're paying out, because right now it's not. But there is a lot of incoming pressure because it's such a popular project. So I'm doing the 50-50 where I compound 50 and sell 50 just to make sure I get some out. But I feel fairly good about it, and the team is building revenue streams, but just don't know for sure. Um, yes, I believe that SMS and Simon and Shiny Jackal's bots will work in all market conditions. So they hedge them, in my opinion, very well with longs and shorts. So whether the market's going up or down, you still make some money. I've been in bots before where when it goes down, actually, I let me show you one thing here. And I'm working this out with the Astrobit team, but here's an example of, let's see what it looks like now. So here's an example. I'm in an Astrobit bot. I'm working with the team, okay, because I think that maybe KuCoin messed up, but I'm in this long on Ethereum in my bot with Astrobit, and I put in 2K and I'm down 700 bucks on it. And I don't know if how the signals got messed up or what. But oh, thank you, Andy. Um, I'm kind of stuck in this now, and I could close the position and take a $700 loss, but this is what can happen with bots when you have big market things. Um, that is what can happen. But this, I've not seen this happen with uh, the other bots that I'm using. So, but again, the Astrobit team is working with me. They think that maybe the bot didn't work because something was wrong with KuCoin. And Andy sent me the contract address, but now do I have to type it in? I'll figure out a way to copy and paste this. Fortunately, 0DDEF12012ED645 F12AEB1B8 45CB5AD61C7423F5. Nice. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so this is actually looking okay. So since launch, it's been down quite a bit, but it may have stabilized now. Again, if you look since for the last couple weeks, it's looking pretty good. Um, Not a ton more sells than buys, which you kind of like to see. So I just don't know. I mean, there is revenue coming in from the swaps. So that's a part of the APR, but you can see a big chunk of it is AEQ reward APR. You see that they break down where it comes from. So like for this one, 19% is from the revenue and 513% is just rewards. So I do not know. We'll see. Will you be active in the Animal Farm relaunch? So apparently, me and the Drip community are in like an all-out war right now. Uh, so I don't know. I will be involved. I have a bunch locked up. I was able to credit my dogs yesterday. Honestly, I probably will take out whatever I can. I've been burned too much. I had $16,000 locked in the Animal Farm for like 6 months now. What could have I done? So if I had put 16K into yield notes, I would have been making, $1,000 a month for 6 months. I probably lost 8K with my money being locked in the Animal Farm for so long. I kind of just want out. I just am tired of the ecosystem. I'm tired of the people. No offense if you're in that community, but I kind of want out of that personally. No offense to anybody in. I wish them the best. I have a lot of drip and uh right? I saw they're making memes about me and things like that, which is fine. I don't really care too much, but you know, and then people say, well, that's where you've made all your money. But yeah, I have 7,000 referrals in Drip. Okay. That's how I've made so much money there. So, anyways, I don't really want to talk about Drip too much. Did you ever look at the Rebellion project? I'm not. I haven't. Who is, let's see, there's somebody, that's some influencer's project, right? Rebellion. Is that Brent's project? Somebody's telling me to look at it. So I'll be looking at that. James, when are you releasing your project? My bandwidth is fairly low right now, so probably not anytime soon. Actually, what I'm trying to do right now is I want these bots, Shiny Jackal and Simon's bots. I want them to release their bots as an NFT, where you can buy an NFT and then it'll put the money into bots and give you a return. Because I think their bots are really good. Um, I don't know. I've thought about just taking like my full crypto portfolio. So like here was my August numbers. No, not that one. My profit this month, August. So like if you look at my August numbers, I ended up with in crypto um about an 8% return for the month if you count everything in. And that actually if you took out yeah, okay, that only makes it go up a little bit. But I ended up with about an 8% return total compared to the amount of capital I had in there to the profit. Okay. So I have thought about making an NFT or something where I basically just kind of give you exposure to everything that I'm in and you get about an 8% return. So I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Would you like that if I had a James Pelton NFT where you got about an 8% return? In July, you would have gotten, let me just check my July. 9% return in July, and I would just give like a percentage of what I actually got. And that includes in all my like rug pulls and things I lost on too. So I don't know. I'm thinking about doing something like that. It's just a matter of putting it together. Like I have so many other things in the works. I'm doing this training course. Um, I don't even think there's anything I can show you about the training course, but I'm doing a training course to kind of help like new people get into crypto. But yeah, I think there is a problem with KuCoin and bots, like it doesn't read the indicators quite well. Loving the live chat format. Yeah, I do too. Once in a while, sometimes projects pay me to do like a live walkthrough of what they're doing. And so it's kind of nice. Then I just can talk and answer questions. Yeah, I know. Honestly, I hold nothing against the drip community. I'm going to try to just say nothing. Proverbs 15, a gentle answer turns away wrath, a harsh word stirs up anger. So I'm trying to figure out how to best just kind of be at peace with them. They didn't like my video where I said drip had Ponzi-nomics going on, but like it does. Like there's not revenue coming in. Um, so I don't know. James, the APR listed on the core pages are not anywhere close to accurate. They are much higher, as you'll find out if you invest in some, especially if you lock into Dynamo and get boosted. So that's good to know. So JW, there's somebody in it. Um, yeah, I don't know. I might end up getting in. I'll have to think about it a little bit because I do like the idea of getting in. You get some AEQ tokens, then you can stake your AEQ tokens, get some BNB. And I kind of might just want to mess around with it. Again, this is back to like traditional DeFi. It's all about circumstances. It's good to refresh projects as DeFi is evolving so quickly. Yeah, that's what I found. Is I found each and every month I've gotten out of projects that weren't as steady and gotten into projects that were more steady. Have you seen the solid returns going on in Champion Finance? I have not. Champion Finance Crypto. I have not heard of this one. But look at this. A brand new project for me to take a look at today. I'll have to take a look at this one. I have not heard of this. No one has mentioned it to me. I am just a little bit leery of seniorage protocols in general, just because even if they're on peg, some point they can go off peg, and then it's kind of like your money is kind of in limbo. Then once you get off peg, and I'm really not a fan of. I've been burned a lot by I don't even know if they have them here, but the bonds, because once you get below peg, like I still have bomb.money bonds that I think are never going to be worth something. NP gives me faith in the whole Equinox ecosystem. Yeah, once I see someone that's that smart, then it kind of just, in some ways you put your faith in that person and say, hey, yeah, go make me some money. But we do see sometimes smart people lose your money too. So yeah. Is NVFX a Ponzi? Now, I think you probably mean automated capital. Automated capital something. So NVFX is just a brokerage, I believe. So NVFX is definitely not Ponzi. Now, it might be a scam. Some people don't like NVFX as a brokerage. I think it's basically a brokerage for Forex. Yeah, you can trade all sorts of stuff. Some people think it's more of a scammy. exchange, but I think they have a thing called automated capital, which I'm not in yet, but I'm actually, it's on my to-do list. Here, you can see my to-do list. This is kind of the fun stuff. Call Nolan, teach my son how to read. Make sure I post in Z Money Club. But look, this one is get into automated capital. I'm also looking into Valify today. Get new bots set up. Yeah. Oh, look, it's in there twice to get into automated capital. So I do want to check that out. It might be a Ponzi. I want to look into it a little bit. So it sounds like my NFT project people are in for. So it's just a matter. It's on my to-do list. My marker board over here has like 40 different things that I'm wanting to do. I did one thing I'm doing too. I want to increase the quality of my YouTube videos. So I bought a new camera. I'm hiring a video editor because I'm gonna try to make the lives will still be like this, but my recorded videos, I want to have a little bit better production quality. Let's see. What was the project you interviewed that facilitated managing a portfolio by just connecting your wallets? I don't remember that exact. I mean, are you talking about like the bank kind of does that? Like it connects all your different wallets and will tell you how much you have in different things. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to. I do kind of remember what you're talking about. I do a lot of interviews with a lot of projects. So you'll have to maybe say more about it and it will come back to memory. I mean, Aleph Finance was working on something to do that, but then they pulled the plug. So JP NFT claiming shotgun dibs for NFT one. Entry should not be high. I was thinking like 500 bucks. If you do less than that, then it's like your cap. It's too hard to facilitate. So I don't know. I might start with like a $500 NFT limited to the first 20 people or something like that. And let's get 10K and get that going and kind of see how it goes. Thank you, JW. Yeah, hit up JW. He's the in the know on Aequniox. Yeah, how about the real estate project you mentioned? Yeah, Galaxia Investment. I'm working on getting them on for AMA. Again, I have not talked with the team very much, just kind of initial talks, but it looks very interesting to me. I've not bought yet, but looks interesting to me. Ooh, the Gentleman's Club NFT. Okay, I don't know if that's quite the same like theming that I would be going for, but if you go through with the NFT, you can always hit us up. That would be I do kind of need I need someone to like make it happen. I have the idea but I just don't have the bandwidth. I would probably use like because I'm a programmer, so I could go in and build something, but I actually really like Third Web. You can build an NFT collection fairly easily on there, or I might just outsource it to someone. Is probably if I want it to get done, then I probably need to outsource it. So it's just a matter of finding the right person. I don't know, maybe Gentleman Club, maybe you. I wouldn't want to do it on Cardano. Um, but yeah, maybe shoot me a DM and let's see. Maybe we'll see if we can work something out. You get a percentage of the project or something. Yeah, bonks. What's going on, man? Good to see you, brother. I would purchase a Pelton NFT. Awesome. Video is fine. Don't fix a working wheel. Get the NFT running, please. You'll have to talk to your friend Andy and Decade. All those guys make fun of me for my setup. I just use the webcam on my iMac. When I go on trips, I use the webcam on my laptop, which is 720p. Okay, and I will say one of the reasons I bought a camera was so like I'm going to Dubai to film for the Project 79 stuff to like and what I did at the last conference I went to and at the audit is they're like, okay, go ahead and film this. And I have to just take out my phone, my iPhone, and film because it's like that's not very professional. So I don't know. There's like a balance. You bonks can't wait to see the new camera setup. APRs are much better than listed. Enter the Dynamo and get big boosts on all the core pools in line with how much of the Dynamo you hold. Okay, interesting. Yeah, talked about Optimus a little bit earlier. Just since I'm already in trading bots, if I'm going to put money in, I'd rather just keep putting it into my bots rather than their bots personally. But if you don't want to go to the trouble of setting up a bot, then it's probably fine. Opinions on Wolfer Finance. I think it's probably good. I mean, he's doing like validator nodes, which don't get you very much APR, but it's going to be more stable. Enter the blue chip maximalist or the Technicolor pools. I mean, yeah, that is a pretty good APR. I don't know. It's just this seems like I'd put money in there and then eventually the coin's going to not be worth anything and then I'll lose my money. It's kind of what it seems like to me, but it could be wrong. I probably am going to mess around. I think I might mess around with this one is what I'm leaning towards as BNB appreciates, get some APR from it and then put into the staker to earn WBNB. For sure, will do. Yeah, I respect that. As soon as the NFT is running, we can use profits to sort your camera. Well, I already have the camera. So now, but then they told me, oh, now you need a lens. Now you need a capture card. Now you need a tripod to put it up above where my webcam is. So it's, oh, now you need a high speed memory card. And it's kind of slowly turning into this thing where it's like, well, I did get a mic. So I used to just use my iMac mic and honestly, it was fine. But I got a new mic, and I am happy with that. So it's kind of baby steps. One thing when I look at YouTubers who are bigger than me, they all have better production quality. In fact, most of the YouTubers smaller than me have better production quality. So that is something that I'd like to improve on um, as I continue to grow. What do you think about stable fund? So I talked a little bit about this earlier, and man, I need to hydrate more. Skin looks unhealthy. Hold on. Um, I heard this Austin dude is doing a very low key exclusive project. Really excited. What are you working on, Austin? Tell us about your project. I have not heard about this. But I do like stable fund. I think Michael, very upfront guy, very smart guy. I like Michael a lot. I'm a little skeptical still of 1.5% daily on a bot. I've not ever heard of a bot being able to do that through all market conditions. And if you remember, some of the signs to look for in a Ponzi are promising certain returns regardless of market conditions, no risk. Um, so I do personally, and I could be wrong. And Michael, if you're watching, these are the types of things that I should only say probably in my members only videos. Again, like tomorrow, members only video. Going to be walking through my top 10 projects, and I'm going to let you help score my top 10 projects tomorrow. Okay, and I'm going to just take off the censors on myself, and I'm just going to say exactly what I think about drip, stable fund, everything. I want to be a little careful here because I don't want to cause FUD in projects if I just don't understand. Like stable fund, for example, I don't know that they're not making the revenue they say they are. But to me, I'm skeptical, and I would like to see the trades themselves personally, if I could. And he says that maybe we can. I'm going to be out in Dubai during Blockchain Expo, and maybe we can see it there. Yeah, and that's true. I have seen magical forex bots have been going for a long time. Oh, well, I mean, even Novatech. So that's not their best link. Let's go to this one. Novatech has been giving 3% a week for now. 3% a week is a lot different than 1.5% a day, though, right? 3% a week is like 12% a month. That still is very high. But again, Novatech's been going for 3 years. But like you said, some of these, if there's Ponzi-nomics involved, some of these can go on for a very, very long time. Like Bernie Madoff. How long did Bernie Madoff's Ponzi go? Ponzi length. I think it's like 30 years, 17 years. Okay. Oh, you can't see my screen. Yeah, Bernie Madoff, he went 17 years with his Ponzi scheme. Okay. But that's the other thing too, is you don't necessarily always need to figure out, well, is there Ponzi nomics going on? I mean, if you can make 3% a week for 3 years, then there's a part of me, the degen part of me, who's like, well, who cares if it's a Ponzi scheme? I'm making a lot of money from it. I've made my initial back. So it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of dynamics going into play there. Okay. Very cool. So Austin's working on a project. Austin, feel free to reach out. Love to have you on for that. So yeah, that's my take on stable fund. But I do like Michael a lot. I do not think Michael's being deceptive about anything. So I don't think it's a scam. I do think there's probably some Ponzi-nomics going on, but yeah, just don't know for sure. If you just go, it should just be right below the video, honestly. Maybe it's a good link. But it should just be right below the video. But you can subscribe right now. It's $5 a month to be part of the OG. Um, and basically, the reason I'm doing this is I have content that I kind of want to share with like fans, not the general public. So I thought this was kind of a good way to like just set my audience apart, like the general public, who I'm a little bit more careful about what I say. And then I'm going to have my members who are like, they're my bigger fans, if you will. And I kind of just like, I'm going to let them go through my top 10 projects and help me rank some of those, ask questions. I'm going to do a video next week called How Important Is My Faith to Me? Because I want to talk about my faith. Like it's the most important thing in my life. It's why I do everything that I do. And I've gone back and forth. Do I make that a video just out to the general public? And I might, but I want to kind of talk about it with my members first, do a live and let them have some questions and things like that. Yeah, and this is a really good point. After 28 days, your stable fund deposits unlock. Then you can take it out if that gets dicey. And that's a very good point. Um, that you can take it out so they don't lock your funds. Not locking your funds is not a good way to run a Ponzi. So if they were a Ponzi, I imagine they would do that. So yeah, it's just you just don't know for sure. Isn't fiat money? I think you mean yeah, fiat money a Ponzi. Yeah, in some ways. Yep. And if you haven't watched my video on what is a Ponzi, I would watch that because it kind of gives just how I think about Ponzi schemes. And sometimes it's not always the right question. Is it a Ponzi? I think the right question is, can it make money? Because there are projects that are not Ponzi's that don't make any money. So I don't know why we get obsessed with Ponzi as being like the end all of what we're trying to figure out in projects. That's not the like end goal. To your point, like I do think the stock market is a Ponzi. Like Tesla stock only goes up. People say no, it's related to the revenue, but it's actually not. Because and we see that with like GameStop. GameStop was going bankrupt, but a bunch of people got together and said, "Hey, let's raise the price." And then they put in money, and that made the price go up. And I mean, it's most financial industries work the same way. Right. Just below the video, click on join. And again, no pressure. Again, I tried to make it as cheap as I could. I may do something like the first 100 people are the OGs at the $5 a month, and then raise it to $10 a month for people after that. I don't know. I really don't have a huge plan with that. I just know like I wanted to put together my top 10 projects and I wanted help ranking them. And so I thought I'd love my audience to help me with that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. You guys can say, "Hey, do this project." And then I'll kind of say, "Okay, here's the score I would give it." And you can try to convince me otherwise. And I don't know. I just think it sounds like a lot of fun. So that's why I did it. Yeah, a lot of potentially good projects are being badged Ponzi before they've had a chance to explain what their approach is. Freeway has all the points needed to consider a Ponzi. And definitely, I mean, there's truth to that. There are things in Freeway. Now, one thing is that it's low returns in Freeway. So that's only given like 3% a month or so. So that would kind of lead you to believe it's not a Ponzi. Like that's actually revenue I believe you could make. So Austin says Ponzi doesn't have to be bad. There's a difference between Ponzi and Ponzi scheme. Yes, I agree. A lot of times too, Ponzi is how you generate revenue while you're building your revenue stream. So like I mentioned this in that video, if you want to watch that up above about what is a Ponzi, but when you do like A round venture capital, sometimes A round venture capital will be paid out by B round venture capital. And it's just they're trying to create this roadway runaway before revenue. I do not think Ethereum point proof of work will survive. I think it's just the miners are freaking out. They have GPUs now and they can't make money off of it. They've invested a lot into that. It was a revenue stream for them and now it's not. So they're trying to make it survive. But if Vitalik's not behind it, it's not gonna. I did see Binance was gonna keep the Ethereum proof of work, but um, I don't think personally it's gonna work out. For what we want out of these projects, we do need to help build their capital so they can reach an economy of scale of purchasing power, owning nodes, mining investment, etc. Yes. I feel as if there's a bit of a moral dilemma for me in investing in a strict Ponzi-nomic protocol that has an expiration time. Yeah, no, I definitely get that. Um, I definitely get that. I feel that moral dilemma also in some projects. Some projects it's just, man, I don't know. Like Stable Fund is a perfect example. I don't know if it's strict Ponzi-nomic protocol. I think they have some revenue coming in. Um, so I do. There is a little bit of a moral dilemma, and not really even a moral dilemma. If I think it can make my audience money, even if it's Ponzi-nomic in nature, I'll probably talk about it and say, hey, I think if you're in early, there's money to be made in this. So like Horde, maybe Drip, Stable Fund, those are some of the projects where like Horde, there is Ponzi-nomics going in Horde, but I think there's money to be made. I think they'll get their revenue streams worked out. I trust the team. Um, so mostly my moral dilemma is, man, are people going to get hosed if I say things are good about Stable Fund? Um, and they get in, are they going to lose money? That's what I really don't want. I don't want my audience to lose money. And every time I talk about a protocol, there's potential for them to lose money. So there is like some moral pressure there. And welcome as a Pats. Welcome being an OG YouTube member. I think we're up to about 50 or 60 or so. So again, at 100, I'll probably go to $10 a month and I'll take away the OG title is kind of my plans. Whether it is a Ponzi or not is not so important. Whether they lie to you about what they do or not is important, in my opinion. Yes, totally agree with that. I thought this was about Aequniox. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot, actually. I started answering questions. Yeah, this is about Aequniox. Thank you, Matt. Matt getting us back on track. And we probably will wrap up here. We've been going for about a year. Does anybody have any questions about Aequniox or anything else that they want me to talk through? Richard, welcome to the channel. Appreciate you being here. So again, Aequniox is the part of this protocol that I'm most excited about compared to Ames and Alto. Nice person, I think very, very smart guy. So that puts me, again, I'm just thinking about how I'm going to rank this in my top 10 projects tomorrow. Team, I would rank very high. This part of the project, I would rank there's revenue streams in place. Although I think the reward is more than the revenue stream. So we have, again, that moral dilemma with some Ponzi-nomics going on. I am excited to see kind of how their roadmap works out. Let's go back to their roadmap. Let's see. Did they have that in here? Some Medium articles, Discord. So they haven't posted anything for a little bit. If you missed, so in the AMA I had with them, which again, I'll post a link to that. Make sure to check out the AMA I did with Nice Person. I wish I knew his real name because calling him Nice Person seems like patronizing or something. But yeah, here's the full AMA I did with them. But does anybody have any final questions? Again, I'll be live tomorrow as well. But yeah, that's how this project, you can get into any of these pools. What I'm most interested in is getting into like this WBNB BUSD pool where you receive your rewards in AEX token at 14% APR. And I need to probably make a spreadsheet to kind of figure this out a little bit. But then you can get into the staker. You could go to the Dynamo and try to vote that one to get. Let's see, where did it go? WBNB, BUSD, maybe this one. So you can vote for that one to get higher revenue. And then in the staker, you can stake your AEQ to earn BNB. Okay, so I think that's pretty cool, and that's at 219% APR. So you have a 14% APR, then a 219% APR on top of that. So I mean, there's a lot of potential, and it's not. It doesn't look like it's locked, if I'm reading that correctly. Again, that's why I like AMAs because I don't know for sure. So that's where I'm at with Aequniox. I'll take a couple last questions, then we'll go ahead and close up here. Is Nebraska NP's real name is Jules? Oh, there we go. Actually, let's check this live score. Let's see, Husker game. What's the score of the Husker? 7-7. Wow, we're holding up so far. We'll see. I have a question not related to crypto. Can you talk about the setup you use for your lives? Camera, microphone, software, or maybe do a video about it? Yeah, I can real quickly. The camera I use is just my iMac webcam. I do have a new camera, a Sony A7C that I'm going to try out, but my iMac webcam does 1080p, which is actually as high as I use StreamYard. StreamYard, it's the highest it can go is 1080p, I believe. So, and let me get you a link to StreamYard. Do I have a referral link? I don't think so. But yeah, I use StreamYard now. Bonks and Austin use Restream, I believe, and they like that better. But me and your friend Andy use StreamYard, and that's my personal favorite. StreamYard, and then for microphone, I use a Yeti Blue. It was like $70. Then I don't use any other software. So I would still like a decision-making guide on a permanent loss. Yes. So in permanent loss, yeah, basically just think about it as if one of the tokens that you're in goes way up and the other doesn't, then it's going to try to keep them balanced. So for example, in this one, it is WBNB and BUSD. So maybe that isn't the best one because if BNB goes way up, then it's going to have to sell BNB and buy BUSD to keep them at a 50-50 stake. So there will be some impermanent loss. Impermanent loss is not actually losing money. It's just not gaining as much money as if you had just held BNB on its own. So again, if BNB goes up 100%, and you held just BNB, you'd go up 100%. But if you're in one of these tokens, you'd actually go up like 70% because it has to buy BUSD to keep you balanced. So, and again, that's why you get some APY or APR to balance it out. Could our NFT project build in a tithe contribution for a social benefit project? Sure. It's a great idea. Definitely will do that. What's your best way to find new projects? Most is just keeping an eye on, like I keep an eye on Twitter. I keep an eye on people are messaging me about projects all the time. So what I usually do is I usually get probably 50 people messaging me about projects a day. And so if 30, like for example, maybe 30 have asked about this Optimus project. Okay. So then I know, okay, Optimus is probably, it's on everybody's radar right now. It's probably something that I should take a look at because I have 30 people asking about it. Stable Fund is another one. I had so many people asking me about Stable Fund. Red Light Chain, honestly, is one a lot of people are asking me about. And also, too, I will say this too. This is a flaw in me, but I do hold grudges against projects. So, for example, like Thor, I put a bunch of money into Thor, lost money. So now when people say, hey, go check out what Thor's doing, I'm kind of just like, no, they burned me. I'm upset with them. And same with Elephant. Like Elephant lost me a bunch of money. I have 20K in trunk. And I know that Elephant's doing really well. But I get kind of hurt, you might say. Maybe I'm emotionally unsteady and I get hurt. And then I don't want to be part of the protocols anymore. I liked a lot of your video, but your friends, I follow them all now, but you are my favorite. Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate it very much. So we'll go ahead and close up there. And yeah, please join tomorrow. for the live ranking, my top 10 projects. That's going to be at 4:30 Central Time tomorrow. I know that's kind of late for some of you in the UK and Australia. I'll try to do it earlier. My Sunday afternoon, or just I'm actually going to a nursing home I teach the Bible at a nursing home on some Sundays. So that's what's going on tomorrow. But yeah, I'd love to answer more of your questions there. We'll go ahead and close up now. But yeah, this is a video about Aequniox. So if you missed the beginning, go back and follow that. But yeah, I appreciate all you guys. Thank you, all of you who joined my membership. I will talk to you tomorrow and hope everybody has a great rest of your day. Thanks so much, everybody.